You ever walk into a room and feel like everyone's just waiting to see what you'll do next, not out loud, but with those sideways looks that linger just a second too long? Yeah, that's how it started for us, or at least for Andre, the man who never asked to be anyone's hero, much less my father's replacement. But there he was every single morning, pancakes on the stove, that calm, easy baritone voice floating down the hallway. Morning, Peanut, like it had always been his job to show up, even when nobody said so. But let me back up a sec, Lena. That's me. Wasn't the kind of kid who made a lot of noise. At 9, I'd learned the world liked kids who fit neatly into boxes, and my box was the quiet, watchful type, the one who'd rather listen than talk, who kept her real questions tucked inside because, the world already had too many answers ready before I could even finish asking. And in every photo, I looked like the question mark: caramel skin, light brown curls that wouldn't stay flat, always standing out next to my mom, Claire, who tried her best to keep everything bright, but whose smiles sometimes looked more like they might crack than catch. She'd married Andre just 6 months back, moving us in a neighborhood where all the fences were white and the hedges cut sharp, where eyes followed you just long enough to decide if you belonged. And let's be real, not everyone thought Andre did. Tall, deep brown skin, the kind of hands that told you he knew hard work, eyes that stayed gentle even when the world wasn't. School drop-offs, PTA meetings, the questions came in whispers that her real dad. He's new, right? Andre noticed. I know he did, but he never let it slip into his voice. Instead, he just kept making pancakes every Saturday, fixed my bike when the chain slipped, bought me books about dragons and faraway stars, and the funny thing is I never asked for any of it. I just waited quiet, holding my spoon, watching to see what might happen if I ever let my guard down. What nobody saw, not Andre, not even Mom, was the drawing folded up in the back of my backpack, stick figures with me and Mom holding hands, and next to her, just an empty shape with Dad written on it. No face, no smile, just a placeholder. Andre kept at it, not pushing, just showing up like love was something you built one little moment at a time, not demanded with big words. The house filled up with the smell of pancakes by 8 every Saturday, always honey, just like Mom said I liked, left out on a plate with a note, just in case you're hungry. Sometimes it stayed there all morning, sometimes it was gone by noon, no questions asked. When he heard me humming Moana through my door, he'd learn the lyrics just to hum them while folding laundry. Every now and then, I'd catch myself almost smiling when he sang off-key in the kitchen. But not everybody saw Andre's gentle way as a good thing. Grandma came by once, did that tight, polite thing old ladies do, and at dinner she said, "Andre, you mean well, but you're not her real father." Be careful not to confuse her. Mom's fork froze. Andre didn't blink, just looked up and said, "I'm not trying to replace anybody, just show up." I watched all of it, tucked inside my shell, but something shifted after that. One day, Mom found a new drawing stuck to the fridge, me, her, and this time Andre in a blue shirt, a tiny heart floating overhead. Nobody said anything, but Mom's eyes got glassy, and for the first time, I caught Andre humming Stevie Wonder, and I let myself hum along, quiet, just to see what it felt like. Things started to change in those small ways. I didn't jump when Andre tied my shoes, didn't pull back when he handed me the remote. My silence wasn't so heavy anymore, maybe just cautious trust, like the moment before you let go of the bike and hope you won't fall. Then one night, I woke up crying. I don't even know why, just couldn't breathe, couldn't stop, and Andre must have heard. He didn't say anything, just came in, picked my stuffed bear off the floor, and sat down on the bed, not touching, not talking, just there. I fell asleep again, and when morning came, my pancakes were waiting, and this time, I left a note. Thanks from me and Bear. Something real, even if it was tiny. It was a Tuesday when the call came. Andre was at work, he's a firefighter, and the school nurse called because I'd panicked during a fire drill. He broke the rules, picked up anyway, and when I saw him in the school hallway, I just wanted him, not anyone else. "Please don't leave me," I whispered, and for the first time, I ran straight into his arms, sobbing in his jacket while the school secretary just watched. No more questions, just letting us be. That night, for the first time, I asked if Andre could read me a story. "He does the voices funny," I said, which for me was a big deal. He sat on my tiny bed, knees all bunched up, reading Charlotte's Web, and I let myself fall asleep to his voice, my bear tucked under my chin. He didn't leave, Not until I was dreaming again. Later, when he passed my backpack, another drawing slipped out, not a blank face anymore. Just us, all three, under a sky full of stars. For my birthday, Mom decorated the backyard, cupcakes on pink tablecloth, balloons, the whole 9 yards. Andre hovered by the grill, not a party guy, but carving watermelon boats, keeping the music up. When Grandma called for a group photo, they almost forgot Andre, asked him to take the picture instead. Through the phone screen, I watched him watching me, and after, I slipped away to sit under the maple tree, and he brought me cake without a word. Later, when everyone was gone, I found a small box in my room, a silver charm bracelet, a tiny firefighter's helmet dangling from it, and a note, "For the bravest girl I know, from the luckiest man who gets to watch her grow up." I wore it under my sleeve the next day, fingers curling around it like a secret, and when my teacher asked who the fireman was on my keychain, I just said, "Someone important." Then came the family tree assignment at school. I stared at the branch that said, "Father." Nothing came. "Mrs. Dawson came by, soft voice. "You don't have to fill that in unless you want to." I took the paper home, and that night, Andre saw me sitting alone. "Family isn't always blood," he said. "It's who stays." And for the first time, I wrote his name, glued a photo of us from the fall festival, and titled it not "My Family Tree," just "The One Who Stayed." Mom found in the morning her hands, shaking a little, and I asked, "Is it okay?" She hugged me. "It's perfect." The next Sunday, Grandma tried again. "Don't make her believe you're her dad, Andre." He just answered quiet. I never took anything that wasn't given. What she didn't know was I was listening, hugging my book, heart pounding. The school showcase came, and my class went on stage. I read from a note. "He didn't give me my eyes, but he taught me to see. He's not my dad by blood, but he's my dad in every way that matters, and I love him." The room went silent. Even Grandma couldn't say a word. After, the principal told Andre, "Lena asked to change her emergency contact. She said you're the one who always comes." For the first time, I slipped my hand into his and said, "Come on, Dad, let's go home." After that, Mom filed the adoption papers. The court day was rainy, but we showed up together, Andre in his best shirt, Mom holding his hand, me in my blue dress, the bracelet swinging from my wrist. The judge asked, "Why do you want this?" And I said, "Because I don't want to spend another day explaining why the man I love isn't my dad. He always has been." The gavel came down, and I swear, it sounded like thunder finally. The world agreed with what we already knew. That night, Andre tucked me in, his hand warm in mine, the bracelet glinting in the lamplight. And no matter what anyone else said, Grandma, the neighbors, all those staring eyes, he was my dad, not by blood, but in every single way that counted. You know what I mean? So tell me, is family really about blood, or is it about who shows up, who stays, who loves you through the quiet moments and the storms? Drop your thoughts below, because honestly, I think a lot of us are still figuring out what family really means.